Yes, folks. What's going on then? Simzims, aka the Dark Venue here, bringing you another video, courtesy of moi. Now we are going to be talking about the latest news regarding my particular favorite franchise, the Transformers. So now we are done with Bay. He is over. He is done. He is out here. He is no longer part of this, or at least he's no longer part of the core directing. I don't know about the producing part of it. I think he might have a hand in that. But in terms of directing any type of productive construction within he has no say. It's the people and the creators that are behind it. So, yeah. So Steven Caple Jr. I mentioned a few videos back on his movie that's coming out next year, the 2022. And we have the latest news regarding that. The Transformers title that we are to believe, or that we have heard rumblings of, or the latest, is called Transformers Rise of the Beasts. And again, this obviously makes a lot of sense because Paramount have been talking about bringing the Beast Wars into the Transformers universe. Again, we weren't told anything loose, but I think that was a project that was fast-tracked forward more so. So that was just on the cuff of when Bumblebee was being made, and there was rumblings of there being a Beast Wars film. So it appears that Steven Caple Jr. would in fact be helming the project and will be the start of which would be a new interconnected universe with the existing, at least for now, for what Steven, the previous movie Bumblebee had left, and going from then, I think we'll go into this, will possibly be a direct sequel. So what do we know thus so far, or what do we know of the synopsis? So the news comes from Empire magazine. There's a lot of Empire. They say it's almost hard to believe, obviously 14 years have passed since Michael Bay's Transformers' first title film, but in 2022, as mentioned, we can expect the we expect the premiere main franchise. Now we know it to be called Transformers Rise of the Beasts. As you might predict from the title, this will see the screen's Transformers gang interacting with characters and creatures from the Beast Wars spin-off TV series that was years back. People will probably know that one. It was pretty successful. It weren't too bad actually. It weren't too bad a synopsis. I mean, I wish they had a bit more variety. I mean, nothing compared. I mean, at least to the comparison of the original G1, you know, I would have liked to have seen a lot more. But they did develop that a lot in the comics. I think that they had produced. I believe it was Dreamwave that were producing that, and they had done some comic titles under Beast Wars where they introduced a lot more, and obviously the toy range was such a big commodity that again they used that to help create and put together the supposed comic. So yes, what do we know of thus far? So it says, don't fret, you know, like Optimus Prime, Peter Cullen will be back to provide his voice. Bumblebee and other classic Transformers, they will be present, with most designed after the original toy and two incarnations. Okay, Bumblebee's car form will be an all-terrain Camaro. However, RC is showing up with a Ducati 916 as her car shape. Okay, while Mirage, who can become different vehicles, is a Porsche. Okay. On the villain side, we have Scourge, a twisted Terracon who claims his victims' Autobots insignia as trophies. He's aided by Nightbird, a female Terracon. From the Maximals Transformers who become animals, there is Air Razor, right? the heart of the group, and a birding creature form, Rhinox, the muscle, who transforms into, well, guess it, the Rhino. The leader of the Maximals is Optimus Primal, okay, described as the father figure of the group. He's similar to Optimus Prime in outlook, but isn't the same character and becomes a giant gorilla. Okay, according to director Steven Caple Jr., the man himself, the intent with Prime here is to get underneath the surface, get underneath the metal, if you would, and explore who he is and his experience on Earth. Okay. As for the humans, we know that the Heights, Anthony Romas, and Judas and the Black Messiah, Dominic Fishback, were leading the cast, and now we know more about their characters. Romas Noah is living with his mother and little brother serving in the military. He's a father figure to his little brother, and he's trying to find his way. Described as a genius, well, we'll find those geniuses when it comes to electronics. He also said to have a lot of heart and tenacity. Fishback's Elena works at the museum as a researcher of artifacts. She's trying to break the glass ceiling at the work, but her bosses keep taking credit for all her work. She's described as a sophisticated thinker. Okay. Timeline-wise, the plan is not to directly interact with any of the Bay films. Good, that's what I said. Therefore, this is not the 7th. This is, in fact, technically it could be classed as the 2nd, because again, Bumblebee is the original. Bumblebee was the official reboot, but Paramount didn't want to say. So let's just keep it as the reboot. So this is number 1. Number 2, with Rise of the Beast set mostly in 1994. It will take place in Brooklyn and Machu Picchu, Peru, and will promise a big spectacle. Production on the film has just kicked off and is scheduled to release 24th of June 2022. So that's going to be 2 days after my birthday, which will be great to see. So yeah, well, that's what we got from now onwards. I mean, that's it to expect. I'm really looking forward. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. We've been wanting this for so long, and I know the development has been so tight, and they know for a fact that dealing with Michael Bay's blasphemy of what he's done to the franchise, absolutely bastardized the you know, to the point where he almost destroyed the property itself. You know, it was just something that Paramount had to just look back and say, look, we can't go on with this shit. You know, we have to step back, look at what's wrong. You know, the last movie really underperformed badly, and you know, it brought a tear to my cheek. You know, just seeing what could have been and what he had put on. You know, and how he got away with just spitting out such putrid on the screen. It was just putrid. It was just mechanical vomit on screen. That was what he got away with, but not anymore. We are going to see a proper film. Again, Travis Knight, who did Bumblebee, all credit to him. He actually did a fantastic job with the budget he had, and with the tarned franchise he had to come out from. But it was that first 5-minute part in the movie, the first 5 minutes, that convinced a lot of people to say this is a different Transformer. And even though we're going to go talking about Bumblebee, and although the story revolved around Bumblebee, it still was, for me, one of the best Transformer live actions we've had for a lot, ever. You know, you had the Decepticons that actually spoke. You actually heard what they were talking about. That was what you was needed. So going forward now, and seeing obviously of what the things they corrected with Bumblebee, and the bad mistakes that happened in the Bay film universe, they're going forward now. Steven Caple Jr., I have all the faith in him. It is going to be a blast. It is going to be a great film. I cannot wait to see this. It'll be very interesting to see his take. Again, I think we're going to enter into the different lore. And again, I think for once I understand you can't go back and do obviously the previous movie, like the Generation 1, But going forward now, all we want is just these films have the capability of just being bigger than DC, bigger than Marvel, bigger than Star. It really genuinely has. But again, this is up to the creators. And again, I believe the story will be so good, and we'll be out of that pandemic, and hopefully this will get a chance to really do well in the box office. Because man, these were all built for the cinema, IMAX. That's where I'm gonna watch it. So definitely. Okay, well, with that being said, people, thank you very much. Stay tuned. I will be hopefully bringing up a lot more content regarding Transformers. I want to really bring it more Transformer centric, this channel, as well as other channels. You know, I love Marvel, I love Spawn and other characters. DC, yeah, Bunda, and yeah, I'm excited. Tell me what you guys think. Are you excited for this version? What are your hopes? What do you think is going to happen? Do you have any stories? Do you have any clues what you think could be the outcome? But no, it's going to be good. And the fact that they have not mentioned Megatron, he must become a big factor. Actually, we know that there is another Transformers film being developed, so possibly, maybe, held back for that, who knows. But well, that's it for now. But thank you very much, guys. Take care of yourself, keep well, and soon I will hopefully you hear from some more Transformers news soon. And that, peace.